talk about this pile of fabrics. Wow, huh?
So this is the storage rack in my studio that holds my fairly expensive or prized fabrics. And it just isn't serving the purpose anymore, so I need to figure out what to do with them. But I thought I would take them down and show you some of these international fabrics.
I've taken all of these fabrics off of the rack and off of the hangers, most of them. But I want to show you the ones that are super special that I got somewhere else besides. This one is Italian. I got it in New York at Mood years ago, maybe, oh my gosh, before COVID, 10 years ago. So this is pretty, right? It's the pattern on the base cloth is really pretty. It's a medium weight, but look at this. Oh my God. So gorgeous. Now, what am I gonna do with this? Initially, I was going to make a coat out of it, and I still think that I think it will make a really great coat. I have 2.5 yards, so I could make a fairly good sized coat. I just need to find a pattern that isn't cut up, right? Because again, I want that, right? That is the whole point of the fabric. That's just like, oh, stunning, absolutely stunning. This one is gorgeous. This is hand-painted silk, raw silk. It's absolutely stunning, right? The mountains all the way down. And I have, it's about 1 yard. It's not very wide. Absolutely gorgeous. And this one's all ready to go on the cutting table, 7056. So I made one of these already, and I need to make a few adjustments to the pattern. It was a test one. So this is going to be my second painted silk. And then my third one, and some of you already seen this, is a black silk that I got when we were in Cambodia last year. So this silk, we went to a place where they make the fabric, and this, I wish you could feel this. It is so good. But they have a big poster up on the wall of Angelina Jolie in a black silk dress that they made for her. And this is the silk that they used. So I got 2 yards of this. It was, I would say, reasonably priced considering what it is. And I am going to make one of these tops, Butterick 7056, out of this. But I'm waiting until I make the second one to make sure it fits just right before I actually go ahead and make it. This is the black silk from Cambodia. Yeah. This, isn't this gorgeous? Oh my gosh. Step back so I can do it justice. This was a gift. It's just a square. It's a yard by a yard of Japanese printed fabric. That was a gift from someone. You know, it's one of these things I just don't want to cut into it. I'm not even sure where to begin or what to do with it. I love having it in my stash. I've had it in my stash for a while simply because I just can't figure out what to do with it. Feel free to leave me comments about ideas on what to do with some of these fabrics because they are just like so gorgeous. This one came from B&J Fabrics, which is my favorite fabric store in New York City. They're absolutely amazing. I buy a lot of fabrics there. This is a panel of the New York City skyline. So it starts as colored and then it goes to black and white at the bottom. And I think I have 2 yards here. Initially, when I got this, I was thinking of like a skirt maybe, you know, so you wouldn't lose like all of the color, but for me it would be a floor length skirt. So I don't know how often I would get to wear that. I'm also thinking now, because it's a nice medium weight cotton, I'm thinking maybe if I could pull a fabric out of one of these and do the top part of a dress to blend into this, or I do a 3/4 dress. It actually would probably like a sundress. I've made a couple that I like. I don't know. I'm still trying to decide. I definitely am okay with cutting this one up. I just want to make sure that it's something that I'm going to have in my wardrobe. It's not going to be super trendy. I want something that's going to be in my wardrobe for a while. I went crazy on some silks. I had a gift card at Mood, so I went to the silk department. Now I was heading to Italy just before I went, so in my mind, I had Italy in mind when I got right. I mean, this was not inexpensive. I think this piece, which is just a yard, was $100. Was over $100. Tessuti Alta Moda, made in Italy. I mean, right? How just like gorgeous would that be for a silk blouse? Which is my intention. I have enough to make a silk blouse. The problem is with silks, so this is silk, I like to wash them. I'm not really good at like being really careful with the fabric. So this one I washed a bunch of times before I cut it out, and it's sort of like it's washed silk, and so it shrinks and it gets like kind of nubbly. I'm not sure I want to do it with that one, so I really have to think about that. Another piece of silk that I bought at the same time, I have two other ones. This one wasn't super expensive. It was probably $30 or $40. It doesn't even have anything on the salvage, but super pretty. So this will be like my test. One, and then this one was also about $100 for the yard. This is a designer silk. Wait till you see this puppy. Oh, I got a yard and a half. Look at this. Look at the flowers on that. Right. I mean, just so. And I have a yard and a half, and that's pretty wide. Problem is, you don't want to cut it, right? You don't want any cut lines because you want to see the border. I want to see the border. I want to see all these big flowers. You know, like it's poncho time, but do I want a silk poncho? You know, how long are they going to last? Like one of those cute ones that are short in the front and side and the back, and you know, who knows? This fabric I got many years ago when my sister was living in Maida Vale in London, and she now lives in East London, but this was like many years ago. This is a Chanel woven. Look at that, huh? It's got the edging is gorgeous. The selvage is up here. I got two of them. The selvage is actually beautiful. I mean, I don't want to cut into this, and it's an open weave. It's a classic Chanel open weave, and it's got the wool fabric, and then it's got some chenille in there. It's just like, I mean, so gorgeous, but it's probably needs to be quilted because it's not going to have a lot of stability. And I have a couple of yards of this. This was pretty expensive. I have quite a bit of it. I mean, obviously it's going to be a jacket, you know, and it's one of those things that I say, well, if I cut it out and make it today, what am I going to weigh next year? What size am I going to be in next year? Do I really, I want something. When I bought it, I was still working and I was wearing suits. Now I don't wear suits, so now I need more of a relaxed jacket, but still something like that's Chanel-esque, but not quite as like buttoned up. From Mood, there's a yard here, and I pulled it out because I want to add it to my winter trending video that's on my over 50 fashion over 50 channel. So it's a velvet, and here's the thing, for one of the fashion trends for this fall is paisley. So this is paisley, and one of the other trends is purple. Not that I wear a lot of purple, but I could pull this off. So I pulled this one out because this one is going to go into my gotta find something to cut pile so I can wear it this fall with this one. Paisley velvet. Here's an example of what happens when you leave these in your stash too long. This is Italian. It's a viscose crepe is what, yes, it's a crepe for sure. It's a little see-through, but I don't like it anymore. I mean, I got a bunch of yards. It wasn't outrageously expensive, but it's delicate, it's hang dry, you know, can't go in the dryer. The pattern's kind of, although brown is in, the pattern is kind of, you know, dowdy, like a little, I don't know, I just don't like it so much anymore. Now I have it, what am I gonna do with it? So I go to London. When I go to London and visit my sister, we go to Butterick Street or we go to Soho, or she takes me wherever I want to go fabric shopping. And then on Butterick Street, there's all these little tiny shops to go in, and they all kind of have their own little specialty of their shopping, their fabric shopping, and in general, their shopping is very different than what we have here. This one I got, it's like a spirograph, right? I had bought it with the intentions of making a sheath dress. It's fairly lightweight. And it's all embroidered and all these beautiful colors. And then when I got it home and I started thinking about it, I didn't want to cut all of the little circles up into like a princess seam sheath dress. So now I don't know what to do with it. I love it. I love it. I love the colors. I love it all. It's very kind of summery, so I can just put that aside for now. This fabric doesn't look like much, but it actually is a beautiful French fabric. And it's again like the Chanel fabric. It's woven. It's definitely going to need to be quilted. I think I have a coat pattern I'm thinking about making this out of, where the jacket is quilted, but it definitely needs to be a quilted suit. And again, I got this when I was working and was wearing these kind of suit coats and suit jackets, and it made a lot of sense. But since that time has passed, now I have this beautiful fabric and I have to figure out what to do with it. This wool piece is from Florence. I was on a mission when I was there to find a piece of fabric. I don't have much of it. It's not very wide. It's a beautiful gray wool suiting. And again, this was like in 2010. Yeah, maybe 2005 when we went there to Florence. Ugh, look at the border on this. It's stunning. Absolutely stunning, right? Again, another jacket. I think now probably what it will be, because this is how much I have. Well, it's not a lot. Is maybe a long vest, maybe like some kind of sleeveless. I don't know. I don't have enough to even like go around me of the border print. So I don't know. There's quite a bit of the gray. You know, I could make the top, like a top out of the gray, and the sleeves out of this. That would be really pretty. Again, I don't know, but the colors just like, oh my God, the pinks and the reds and gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. This one you may have seen. This one I got at B&J the last time I was there. I was buying a bunch of, I had a list. I was following the list. I was doing really well. And then I saw this and I went off the rails. This is a rayon crepe. It's embroidered. I don't know where it's from. It's very lightweight, but it looks like fireworks, and it goes from red to purple. And again, I was thinking sheath dress, and I have several pieces of it because it was all in pieces on the bolt, what was left of it, so I bought what was left of it. But just like, I mean, I can't even. I absolutely love this. It's a very stiff fabric, but it's got gold threads watching through it with all of these fun calla lilies printed on it. I have quite a bit of this. I have maybe 1.5 yards. I have 2 yards, almost 2 yards probably. Again, this was going to be a jacket, and I think I probably could still make a jacket out of this. I think it would be absolutely beautiful. This was when they first started like printing, laser printing on fabric, and then it's on, I wish you could feel this. It's like, it's got a nubby texture to it with the gold threads flipping through it. I mean, just like beyond. So this fabric doesn't like look like much, you know, when you first look at it. It is stretchy, which is really nice. This is British. I got this on Berwick Street a couple of years ago. A little spot on it. And it has this really nubby texture to it, and it's stretchy this way. So you would wear it like horizontally. It's all this creamy white color. I don't know, you know, so beautiful. And it could go for so many things because it has a fairly decent drape. You know, it could be a more structured dress or a jacket or trousers, or, I mean, it could go a lot of, and I think I got 3 yards. I have like a boatload of this. So I could do a whole suit out of it. But the texture is what really sold me on this fabric. I have, again, a ton of this. It is a panel fabric, so to speak. This is one side of the width, and then the other side is the same. So, I mean, this is just, and I have a lot. I mean, this was going to be a suit of some sorts, but the painting on this, I mean, it's printed, it's not hand painted, but still just, I mean, even the edge, look at the salvage, even the salvage is fabulous. So yeah, this one I could do a whole suit on, a full-on suit. I think these would be great in like a pair of palazzo pants. Wouldn't that be really interesting with a pair of palazzo pants with that? I mean, I have enough to do some on both sides. Just gorgeous. Or a coat, a lightweight, like trench style coat. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, these fabrics are beautiful. They're very special to me, and I appreciate you taking the time to walk through these international beauties with me. And please, I would love to have any ideas that you have for some of these pieces. They need to be cut, and they need to be worn, and they need to be seen, and I think I'm ready to cut into at least a few of them anyway. Certainly the New York one. I think that the next one that I should pull out of this, outside of the silks that I've already pulled out, I think the next one that I'd like to probably try is this New York skyline one. I think this would be really interesting for something for this fall. A vest. I don't know that it would work as a pair of pants, but that's another option. Some kind of jumper, like a dress jumper, that I could wear a shirt underneath it. I don't know. But let me know your pattern ideas, and until next time, happy sewing. Bye.